All right, guys, welcome to Tuesday. It's September 8th, 2020. So yesterday I left you off with, one guy is, aiming to get rid of all my machines at one parking lot. So I don't know what this guy has against me, what the situation. And he's the owner. He's part owner of the parking lot. He's one of three owners of the parking lot. And I don't know what he's got against me, So apparently he goes to one of my machines. One machine broke down already. Okay, so we have a fan, we have a condenser fan that broke down the other day. So I ordered new ones. So the screen was wrong, was not working. So I ordered an extra one of those just in case. So he made his way to the inside of the car wash, and he used the machine inside the car wash. Now, as you know, I said there was one of few things that could have been wrong. Either the water could have gotten stuck, or the selection didn't work because it got stuck, or it just wasn't working to begin with. So apparently this guy decided to press the button on a selection that apparently hasn't worked in a while. Now, to me, no one's ever told me about this problem. No one's told me that this selection hasn't worked. No one said anything. You gotta understand, when we come in, we're not mind readers. If you don't tell me, J2 is not giving out drinks, I won't know that there's a problem with it until you tell me. To me, I just assume that, the water has gone down, the line has gone down, and everything's gone. That means the soda's empty. That means it's working. But if you don't tell me that this has happened before, I don't know. Which means I'm not even gonna touch it. My machines are not new, and even if they were new, they probably wouldn't tell you. It would tell you there's a jam in the column. Now, the machine does tell me if there's a jam in the column, but the whole thing was there was a 16-ounce Poland spring water that got jammed inside, and apparently that line, I gotta fix it on this particular machine. It's a USI 3139, I think it is. And what it is that the lines are pre-made, so like you can't make them any thinner or you can't make them any thicker. And if you do want to do that, you have to do it by hand. So if you want like a thinner line, you have to put like little sticker spacers inside to make it a smaller line. If you wanted to make it wider, you would have to press the metal in to actually make the line wider. Now, in this particular machine, this is how this works. It's not like you set up for a 16-ounce drink. And the reason why I have is because with this machine, I could throw in a can at any time. So if I decide to not use bottles in that line, I don't have to use bottles in that line. I now could throw cans in that line. If I want to throw a Monster into that line, I can throw a Monster into that line. Vice versa, I can throw whatever I want to throw in that line. So apparently what happened was, when I ran the test in the machine, the motor only turned halfway. Now, I don't know if there's an error, if there's a switch problem, I don't know. So for every $2, it gave me one drop. And then at some point, it gave me two. Now, that's also because the Poland spring bottle is so soft compared to like Dasani, or if you get like a 20-ounce Poland spring, which actually fits into the lane, So this was the issue. So it turned only halfway. So I cleared everything out of that lane, and I saw it, and I tested again, and it still turned only halfway. To me, that tells me one or two things. either the motor is shot or the teeth where it grips onto are broken, which means it's not gripping all the way, which means it's not turning all the way. So that could be one or two things. As in terms of power to the motor, it's got it, and in terms of the auger, it's turning. So there's no issues with that. But it could only be one of those two things. So I ordered 2 brand new motors just to make sure that they work. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen. For now, instead of vending water out of that selection, I put a can selection in there. And I forgot to change the selection on the door that it was Coke. Well, anyways, whatever. They'll get a Coke out instead of a water. But yeah, that's the whole thing. But this guy seems to find every freaking thing that's wrong with my machines. Like, he'll just randomly come up to the machine and he'll like click a button and say, oh, well, that one's broken. And it's gotten to me so much because no matter which machine comes up to, he always finds an error. Now, I'm happy that he finds error. The problem is he's called me so many times that I can't even predict when the error is real or when he's fucking around with me. You know, when he's messing around with me. So so now I don't even want to take his phone calls. You know, like the guy inside the store says, you know, I mean, he told the guy, says, you know, like, oh, he put $1 in. He says, call the guy, call him. He goes, no, I'm not going to call him. You call him because he's not going to pick up the phone on me. So he was right. I wasn't going to pick up the phone on him. So the guy from the actual car wash, he called me up and he told me to come down. So I came down. I showed up and I had to figure out what's wrong. Now I know what's wrong. Now, everybody complains about, you know, not getting a new machine or getting an old machine or whatever it is, or they want the new machine. My whole thing is that, yeah, the new machine is great. I love them. Don't get me wrong. But, you know what? If I can fix an older one to operate like a new one, why would I get a new one? If the older one costs me 1/3 of the price and still does the job right, you know? I mean, it's nice to move with technology and stuff, but you know, my old machines can still take credit cards, just like the new ones, and they can still tell you a display, just like the new ones. You know, the difference is to find parts for the new machines is almost impossible. It's like buying a brand new car and trying to find a part for it. You're not going to, because nothing's OEM anymore. You know what I mean? They're not gonna. You won't be able to get a brand new part, and this is a problem. So now what's happening is I'd rather keep the old machine because I can go on eBay and purchase the parts that I need to purchase immediately without any problems. I don't have to worry about a dealer or this or that or a company waiting 2 weeks to ship it out to me. You know, the motors went bad on Sunday night. I already ordered them. I ordered 2 brand new motors. It cost me $23. You know how much those motors cost from the company? At least $70, $80, maybe even $90 a piece, plus shipping. That shit would have cost me $200 instead of $40. You know what I mean? So, like these little motors I'm going to order for the machine, they're going to cost me $15 a piece, $30. You know how much they cost from the company? About $45 to $55 a piece. You know, so it gets a little. It gets a little damaged. It gets a little hurtful. You know, it does get crazy, but this is what happens. You know. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Just, you know, something to keep in mind. You know, new machines are great, but the older ones are better because, you know, the old ones are dinosaurs and they still perform just as good as the new ones, and they don't cost as much. So someone that's starting out a business, this would be perfect for them to get into, you know. So they don't have to buy a machine for $3,000. They can buy a machine for $100 instead, you know, and they'll operate. So it'll cost them another $50, $60, maybe even $200 to fix it. Total cost of the fixing of the machine, $300 plus a move, another $100, $150. Say $450. They got themselves a nice working machine that's going to run for at least 4 or 5 years. They'll make their money off of it and they'll upgrade to the next machine. For me personally, I think Vendos are great. They're better than Dixies, and I think Vendo and USI, Vendo, USI/FSI/Witten/Fawn or whatever it's called. I think those are the best machines. Take care, guys.